Those two are weird. Hey, Mayor Mabel. I'd heard the academy was actually occupied by armed assailants at one point. I was ever so worried when I first heard the news. It's a pleasure to see you again, Joshua. You too, Lila. Have you been well? I have, thank you. Although I wish I could say the same for the mayor. She collapsed from overworking herself the other day. As such, I had no choice but to force her to take some time off work. That bad? I'm afraid so. She is finally able to rest and recover enough to my satisfaction, thankfully, so she's now returned to her duties. I assure you that she's in good hands.
Oh, you needn't worry about us. The Academy suffered no major damage as a result of what happened. It was certainly a shock to see the students, but they're all back to their usual cheery selves now. Ooh, it's finally all over. It just goes to show that if we endure, the goddess will eventually extend her hands of salvation to us all. It's reassuring to know. Poor Mr. Murdoch. Oh, Joshua, it's been quite some time since I last saw you. It has. I didn't know you were here, Mayor Klaus. The mayors of each of liberal cities and towns were invited, I believe. I'm not sure why I was when I didn't do all that much to contribute to anything, but I decided to attend nonetheless. That's not true at all. I hear that food supplies that were delivered to Bose and Gransel were done so on your orders. That was particularly well received here, and we all know how dire things were at that time. You've got as much right to be here, being thanked for your efforts as anyone else. It was? Well, that's certainly a relief to hear. Thank you so much for letting me know, Joshua.
Oh yeah, he's the new mayor for Ruan.
Hey, Sid. Greetings, Joshua. I'd like to take this chance to thank you again for all your team did to thwart Ouroboros' schemes and return peace to Liberal. That the debt of gratitude we owe is beyond measure. Please, you're exaggerating, sir. We might have been the ones who entered the Liberal Arc, but we wouldn't have had a chance of success if we were on our own. It is only because of you, Richard, Kurt, and the others fighting on the ground that we were able to succeed. We could certainly say the same of you, though. Although it is true that none of us could have brought peace alone. Still, I've been wanting the chance to thank you personally for all you did. The faith we had in you to see your work through to the end was just what we needed to fight. Oh, it's you. I've heard you've been lending a hand with the restoration efforts in addition to all you did with the Liberal Arc. You have my thanks. You're quite welcome, sir. I wasn't expecting him to thank me. I wonder if something happened. Ah, Joshua. I'm surprised to see you here, Dad. I thought you said you were over the phone you wouldn't be able to attend because you were swamped. Oh, swamped is an understatement. Transporting goods needed to get the country back in order, making sure every area has all the utilities it needs. I'm drowning in work. It's going to take a while longer before we can say Liberal is back to normal too, I fear. Come to think of it, Estella and I certainly didn't expect to find soldiers even in Liberal's smaller villages, so it threw us off to see as much while we were helping out where we could. Doesn't come as a surprise if you're the one responsible, though. It should go a long way towards helping people feel at ease. It's times like these when we've got to do all we can for one another, and the Army's no different. With Erebonia and Calvert's internal political situations a mystery to us, the reorganization of the Army has had to be shelved for now too. Still, no matter how busy a man is, everyone needs to kick back in a while. So make sure you make the most of tonight, Joshua. I think you need to kick back more than I do, Dad. Estelle's been pretty worried about you, you know. Ha! There's no need to worry about me. I'm hanging in there. In fact, I'd say I'm taking it too easy. I don't know why. I thought he would be the little conversation ender. I guess not. Hey, Kurt. Or not Kurt. Nah, Kevin. Kevin? I wasn't expecting you to still be in Liberal. Oh, sup. You were invited too, huh? Makes sense. So, having fun? You better be. Take it from me. If you don't make the most of times like these and eat your heart out, you're gonna regret it later. Thank you very much for all you did for me, Kevin. If you hadn't come to Liberal when you did, don't sweat it. Not like I did anything special. Glad to see all the side effects look about gone, too. You're looking spiffy these days, Joshua. So yeah, just forget about owing me or whatever. It's all in the past now. I'm not sure if I should ask this, but are you... Joshua? I'm not going to be in Liberal for much longer, so this might be the last time we meet for a while. But I hope we'll get the chance to see each other again one day. Yeah, I hope so too. Hello. How's it going, Joshua? Hello, Zin. Thanks again for all the help you've been giving with the restoration efforts. I don't know what we'd have done without you. Ha! Hey, think nothing of it. It's part of being a bracer, really. Can't say how much longer I'll be able to lend a helping hand, though. Gotta pick up and head back home at some point. The political situation isn't exactly stable over there, you see.
It's nice to be able to attend a banquet like this. It truly drives home the point that this nation is back at peace again. The trouble regarding the Liberal Arc and the subsequent restoration efforts have really shown me anew how capable a ruler Queen Alicia is. She's handled all that's happened impeccably. If all this had happened in the Republic, it wouldn't have been resolved anywhere near as smoothly, let me tell you. Miss Maid, I need some food. Someone get Dorothy some food, okay? This is just cruel. Oh god, there's so many people. Mr. Kapuas! Hey, Joshua. I didn't expect to see you guys here. You were invited then?
Sure was. An invitation just showed up out of nowhere. You can imagine our surprise when we saw the thing. No way we were turning down some high-class scrub, though, so we hurried on over.
That's very like you. Not gonna deny it. That aside, thanks to Her Majesty pardoning us, we're now free to walk around in the open. Feels like we should start thinking about how to make a good, honest living for ourselves. That's not the first time you've said that. Something about wanting to start up a courier service, right? Well, maybe, but that's not the only thing we could try out. Whatever we settle on, it should involve flying the skies. That's how we've lived so far. I don't want to change now. I swear, it's like watching two children squabble. It's great that we're peaceful again and all, but I think these two are taking things a little too easy. After all the work we've been doing lately, it's great to be able to come to a swanky place like this and put our feet up. The food's pretty good, too. Wow, I didn't know Josette was from nobility. I always pictured Erebonian nobles to be real stuffy and scary. But maybe there are a few cute ones mixed in there.
Greetings, Joshua. You've done some fine work these past couple of weeks. The damage reports on the regions of Liberal you've been providing have proved invaluable in allocating personnel. I really can't thank you enough. Oh, you needn't thank me. By the way, Kurt, I feel like I need to say something regarding my bracer badge. As you probably already know, what power I have was given to me by the Society. Before becoming a bracer, I used to commit many unforgivable crimes too. No matter how much I think about it, I just can't see someone like me as fit to call himself a bracer. You know, Joshua, I've always seen power as an imperfect concept. And that's why I believe people are able to use it. Am I wrong? No, I suppose not. Then what difference is there between us? We are both keenly aware of our flaws, and yet we both use what limited power we have to do what we believe to be right. I see no difference. Well, I can't really argue with that logic. I still can't pretend to be completely confident in myself, though. Be that as it may, that's nothing to be ashamed of. You should simply continue striving to overcome it. And while this is but my personal opinion, I'd say you're a model bracer. It's good to see you again, Elnan. I heard you were here as Bracer Guild's representative today. Is that true? Indeed. All the other receptionists are busy, you see. I was the only one able to attend. That's too bad. Isn't it, though? This would have been a fine time for us to exchange information. But, oh well. There's always tomorrow, as they say.
Huh. I figured that'd be the case. Looks like I'm the most fit to be at this party after all. Because I've been to plenty of high society gatherings wearing poofy dresses. Hey, don't make it sound like I've never worn a dress before. Because I have, for your information. I just don't need to go around trying to convince everyone that I'm not a boy, unlike some people I can name. Try saying I look like a boy again and see what happens.
Look, you two, I appreciate that you have your differences. But we're kind of in a really public, really high-class place here. So could you take this fight somewhere else? Ho ho ho! Wow, sorry. Bam!
If it isn't Joshua. I was just discussing the aftermath of the crisis here with Major Vander.
Fortunately, the Liberal Arc's collapse caused little direct damage by itself.
That might not have been the case if there had been any ships on the lake at the time, but due in part to the orbital shutdown phenomenon, none were. The tsunami afterward was quite small too. I'd say we were rather fortunate.
Estelle and I were able to see much when we traveled around the lake shore. A few people who were watching the city collapse were caught up in, and a small number of fishermen were splashed with water, but that's about it. Indeed, if anything, the much greater problem was the confusion that came about as a result of losing orbital power. Liberal is, after all, one of the most advanced nations on the continent when it comes to orbital technology.
Ordinarily, that is one of our greatest strengths, but in this case, it worked against us. The crisis has now passed, but that doesn't mean our work is done. We still have plenty ahead of us to take care of.
Just the man. Pardon? Oh? Is this the boy you were speaking of earlier? That's correct, this is Joshua. I was just telling the ambassador here about your various accomplishments, Joshua. It's an honor to finally meet you. I'm the resident Erebonian ambassador here in Liberal, Davil Krana. It's nice to meet you. The tale of how you flew on top of the flying city, all while knowing it may be the last thing you did, brought tears to my eyes. How you were able to participate in an operation that may have brought your death, casting aside even your girlfriend's objections, I don't know. But I know this, Liberal needs more young men and women like you. Thank you for saying so, sir. Just what has the Duke been telling him? Good evening to you. Thank you so much for making the time to attend tonight's banquet. Oh, not at all. How are you feeling now after having some time to recover, Philip? I'm feeling quite well. You're too kind. I do believe I may have overexerted myself. That's how things are once you reach a certain age. I find myself wondering whether I would have been able to do more if I was 30 years younger, but I suppose there's little point in doing so. I wonder what he looked like 30 years ago. Nope, sorry, Philip. I just can't picture it. Well, Seek, it's good to see you. After all he did, I'd say he deserved a good party as much as any human. Good evening, Your Majesty. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
Oh, not at all. I'm pleased to see you've come. I've been eagerly awaiting the day we can meet again. I hear you and Estelle have been traveling and helping with the restoration efforts.
That's correct. We both wanted to see how things were across the kingdom with our own eyes. I'm glad we did too, because now I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. People really are strong.
That they are. I have been queen for over 40 years, and that strength of liberal citizens continues to amaze me to this day. There are plenty of who like to credit either my ability as a ruler or orbital technology for this tiny nation's good fortune. But we would be nothing without its people. I wasn't the one who allowed us to overcome the recent crisis or the war 10 years ago, and neither was orbital technology. No, I believe it was the will of its people to live. That's what I believe supports our country, both then and now.
People's will to live?
Indeed. You were gracious enough to call this country your second home, Joshua. From now on, you will live. Your will to live will be another great support for this nation. As its queen, that makes me happier than you can imagine.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Your words mean a lot to me.
Alright, I guess time for the main event. What? You'd like me to give a comment? Well, let's see.
Looks like she's being interviewed at the moment. I should leave her be for now.
If you would, Your Highness, a common celebration of the fact that the crisis is past now. Just nothing too formal, alright? I'd prefer something that brings out your bright and cheery nature.
Oh. I'm never wearing a maid outfit again, just so you know.
Why, hello, Joshua. Tonight's party is hosted by Her Majesty in all her grace, so I do hope you'll enjoy yourself.
Is that enough? Alright, so I've talked to all the maids here. Oh. Okay, I think that's about everyone now. There were a few people I didn't get to talk to, though, so hopefully I can make another round of the party later once they're free.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Dorothy, we're talking to the military guys next. Get a move on, woman. We haven't got all day. Oh my god, just let her eat something. Niall, I don't feel too good. My stomach feels like a giant bottle of water. That's what happens when you drink way too much in a short period of time, you idiot. But never mind that. We've got work to do. Okay. Oh my god. Hey Chloe, finally got a bit of a break. It must be exhausting having to do one interview after another. Well, I suppose it is a little. Not too bad though. I've had to do a lot more of them ever since becoming crown princess, so I'm starting to get used to them. I can believe it. Feels like I've been seeing your face in all kinds of papers and magazines lately. I think anyone would learn to adjust after a while. Well, you know. It probably won't be too long before it starts to die down, so just hang in there. All you can really do is grin and bear it until then, unfortunately. Yes, I know. That's exactly what I intend to do, too. I swore to myself that I would do all I could to help and protect this country's people. Accepting a few interviews here and there is the easy part. Well, if you say so. You really are strong. I'm not so sure about that. I still feel like I'm doubting myself a lot of the time. Like I just have to keep going out of my comfort zone, feeling reckless with every push. Maybe so. Still, doesn't change the fact that you're strong. Not to me, anyway. I remember the strength you showed trying to protect Clem when we first met, too. Thank you. I nearly forgot about that. Maybe now would be the best time after all. Something on your mind, Chloe? Could I have a little of your time, Joshua? I got something I want to say to you. Sure. Okay. This way, then. Is it just me, or does she seem kind of bothered by something? Where's Estelle right now, anyway? An eating contest. I guess I can just leave her as she is for now. She seems pretty occupied. I should go and see what Claudia wants then. Have I done something to make her angry, though? I don't feel like I have. So, Chloe, what was it that you wanted to tell me? Look, if I've done something to offend you, I'm sorry, alright? Really? What? Well... I'm sorry. I'm happy you feel that way, but... Don't worry, I knew exactly how you were going to respond before I said anything. I just felt like I had to get that out before I could really start moving on. The sky sure is beautiful tonight, isn't it? How long have you, felt that way? Say, Joshua, if you had met me before Estelle, do you think you would have, No. I'm pretty sure that would that never would have happened. Sorry. I told you, don't worry. I can't deny that there's a part of me that wants to keep you all to myself. But even if that were possible, I don't think it would be what I truly wanted. Because when it comes down to it, I really do love both you and Estelle. that's partly why I wanted to see that troubled face of yours one last time. It was worth the effort to bring out, too. That was probably the best expression I've seen to date.
You can be kind of a bully sometimes, you know that?
Maybe. This feels like the most fun I've had in some time. So, what's on your mind, Joshua?
What?
I can easily tell you're worried about something. My instincts are quite sharp, or so I like to believe. Besides, I was watching you the whole time I was handling that interview earlier.
Oh. How exactly am I supposed to take that?
Still, you're hiding something, aren't you? Are you planning on doing something all on your own again?
Your instincts are sharp, all right. Estelle surprises me from time to time, too, but you're definitely up there.
Well, that's just how us girls are. So come on, tell me what's troubling you.
It's nothing that major, really. I intend to leave Liberal by the end of the month.
But why? The country is finally at peace now.
That's exactly why I think this is the right time. Ouroboros seems to have completely withdrawn from the country, and the restoration efforts are coming along smoothly. So maybe it's about time for me to leave on a journey of my own. It's taken me a long time to get this far, but I've finally been able to start thinking of myself as a person and not some kind of broken doll. I was finally able to achieve the very thing everyone wanted for me. That's been both a good and a bad thing. Oops. Broken dolls can easily look away from all the terrible things they've done, but I can't do that anymore.
Oh.
That's why I need to go on this journey around the continent, so I can work towards atoning for all that I've done. So I can start embracing the person I am now, in the truest sense of the word.
I see. But if you do that, that means you won't be able to see Estelle for a while.
Yeah, I know. It might not even be for a while. It could be a long time. I'm still not sure how to break that to her either. That's the part that's on my mind right now.
You've still got a lot of growing up to do, young man.
Huh?
If you ask me, you should tell her in a way that comes most naturally to you. You don't have to write some big speech in your head in advance. Speak to her from your heart. You believe in her, don't you? No matter how you phrase it, she'll understand. All you have to do is get those words out there. You owe that much to her if you love her. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do. I really am hopeless, aren't I? You shouldn't have to tell me something that obvious.
You wouldn't be you if I didn't have to tell you. Plus, that kind of thing's part of why I love you too.
Please stop teasing me.
Just remember, it'll be okay. If anyone knows you, it's Estelle. Although, if you ask me, she'll... Joshua, where are you? Oh, there you are. Look at these. They're Joshua's goggles. I took them,
Oh, Josette's. Sorry, I misread that.
I'm glad you were having fun, Estelle.
Make sure you give those back to Josette later, okay?
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Tune in next week's issue to find out. Wait, hold on. Chloe? I suppose it's about time that I return to the banquet now. You can have Joshua back now, Estelle. Sure?
Hey, Chloe. So, not sure how to best put this either, but thanks. I'm glad I was able to talk to you like this. Really, I am.
You're very welcome. Well then, I wish you both a very pleasant night. The heck? So, Joshua, what did you two, talk about?
Oh, nothing much. She just gave me a bit of a much-needed motivation.
Oh, really? That sure clears things up.
It's been 5 years, and Estelle has believed in me for every single one. And I believe in her too.
No, it doesn't. What motivation?
Estelle, I've got something I need to tell you.
I'm all ears. What's up?
Well, you see, that'll have to wait. Fireworks!
Wow, fireworks! They're so pretty. There's so many of them, too.
I don't know, I've gotten pretty tired of fireworks. You see, Estelle? Is that the end? Side story, the banquet finished. I got the luxurious lunch. And 3,500 Mira. Sweet. Okay. That jumped the recording up like an hour. Alright, so I'm gonna call it quits here. So next time on The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the Third, we'll be heading to the next plane, whatever lies beyond fake Grancel. I'll see you guys then.